Hello all, hope you are doing good. In this video, we'll be working on the CRUD operations. Okay. In the CRUD, the T stands for creation. Okay. R is for reading the data. U stands for update. D stands for delete. Okay. These are the four basic operations that we perform on any database. Okay. Spelling mistake. Yeah. Now we'll try to see using this particular create command what we can create. Okay. Whenever we are working with any database application, it should allow us to create a database. Okay. Now we'll start with creating a database. Okay. In order to create a database, the simple code is create database followed by the name of the database. I want to store the student details, so that I'm giving the database name as studentdb and I'm selecting it. Okay. After selecting this one, when I execute this particular code, it will showcase this one. Okay. If there is any error, it will showcase some red mark here, showcasing that there is some error. Otherwise, it will show the green tick. Okay, this is how we'll create a database. Now, the database that I have created is not showcasing here. What I have to do, I need to refresh this particular database panel. Then I can see this particular database that I have created. But if I want to create a table within that, I need to give the reference to that particular database. One way is that I can double click on that, or else I can use this particular command, use, what is the database name? Use database student db. Okay. This particular thing. This is to, okay, I don't need to use database here. Now directly use this particular database name. Now the reference is given to this particular student db. Now I can work with the data within that database. First of all, I would like to see what are the tables within that particular database. I'm selecting the database. Now I'm running this particular code. I'm not getting any data. Means there is no table inside that particular database. Okay. Now how to create a new table? In order to create a new table, we will use this particular. So this hyphen hyphen is to create a comment so that system will ignore that particular line of code. Okay. Now how to create a table? Syntax for this one is create table name. Okay. We just want to give the table name as students. Whenever we are creating a table, remember that as a part of a table, it is having the column name. Okay. If I have to give the order, okay, column name followed by the data type, followed by the constraints. Okay. This is the order. If I'm writing one more column, I need to separate it by the column one. Okay. Column two and the type of data that I'm going to store. And if there is any constraint, I can keep, or else I can simply ignore this one. So this is how we'll create a table. Okay, this is part of the syntax. Now, as a part of the student table, I can have the student ID column. Okay, next his name, next the age of the student. I would like to create a table with three columns. The first one is the student ID, name, and age. As I have told you, followed by this particular name of the column, I need to give the type of data. Okay, what type of data that I am going to store into this particular student ID. Okay, similarly, name, I'm going to store the character type of data. I'm assuming that maximum length of the name can be 50 characters. I can keep 100, I can keep 150, 250, like that. Okay, the age is also a number, so I'm giving integer value here. So this is how we'll create a simple table with three columns. The syntax remains same. You can create any table. Only thing that changes is that the table name, corresponding columns, and data type. Okay. Now for the first column, I would like to add one constraint, that is primary key. Okay. When we say student ID is a primary key, student ID won't allow duplicate values. Okay. So the primary key is called constraint here. Now I have selected this particular code and I'm executing this particular line. Okay. So we'll see. It is showcasing that table students already existed. Okay. Let me see. Let me run this particular code. Okay, so there is a students table. Okay, that's what it is showcasing here. Previously, when I have created this one initially, I have not created the primary key constraint. Okay, make sure that your table is having the primary key constraint. Otherwise, okay, I just want to drop the table. First, I will drop it and then I will create. I'm selecting this particular line of code. Let me end this. I have dropped this particular table. If I drop it, then I can recreate it once again. Okay, now I have created this particular table. Okay, make sure you make this particular line into a comment. Otherwise, accidentally you may execute this particular code, then it will drop the table. Okay, I have created the table. Now at this level, I would like to see what is the data. How to select the data? Select star from a table name. Okay, there is no data. Why? We have created a table, but we have not inserted any data into this one. How to insert the data into this table? Okay, inserting the data. How to do this? So in order to insert the data, we use insert command. Okay, insert into whatever is the table name that I'm inserting. Okay, into students. Okay, it is always better to specify the columns into which you are inserting the data. What is the first column here? Student ID. Okay, student ID, the name and his age. Okay, as a part of the syntax, it followed by values. What values I'm going to insert? ID number 1. I just want to add the username Suresh and giving the age as 20. Okay, so I have just written this particular line. I'm executing this. Okay, now you can see one row has been successfully inserted. Okay, now at this level, I want to see what is the data inside my table. Okay, I'm selecting. Why it is showing error here? Because each query I need to end with a semicolon. Okay, I'm selecting this. I'm executing. Now there is one record. Okay, like this, I would like to enter one more record. Okay, this time I'm changing the name of the student. Okay, and assuming that his age is 21, I would like to insert this. Okay, when I try to insert, it is showing an error, duplicate entry 1 for key for this particular students. Okay, why it is showing this error? Because when we are creating the table, we have specified that student ID is a primary key. This is the advantage. When I specify a student ID is a primary key, it won't allow us to store a duplicate data for the student ID. Okay, now I'm inserting this. Now the data has been inserted. At this level, I want to see the data, okay, which is there in my table. Now there are two records. Okay, now I'd like to insert one more record. Means at a time I can insert three records. Just giving three. Harish. Okay, say that his age is 23. I'm just selecting this. Okay, I have inserted three records. Okay, at this level, I want to see how many rows are there. Okay, you don't need to write it here itself, you can run it. Three records are there. So this is how we insert the records. Okay, you can also insert multiple records using a single insert into command. Okay, you can also try that one. Okay, so suppose how to insert multiple records at a time if you want. Okay, so one more thing is there, split by comma. So would like to write one more record. So already three records are there. Fourth record, I'd like to give hold on. Okay, his age is say 19. One more record that I would like to insert for it is fifth record, and his name is Rahul, and his age is 20. Okay, so using one insert into statement, this is how I can insert records. Like this, I can add any number of records using a single insert into statement. Okay, now two records has been inserted successfully. We'll try to run this particular code. Okay, now I can see there are five records. It's really good. Okay, now these many records we have inserted. Now later We have identified that how many records are there. Let me run this particular code. 5 records are there. Okay. The age of this particular student with ID number 1 is age is 22, but we have entered that age as 20 wrongly. Okay. There should be a facility to update the data. Okay. How to update the data? So there is a command to update the data. Okay. How we will update the data? So I need to write update. What is the table name? Students. Okay. What I am updating? Age. Okay. Now the update and set combination is there. So set age equals to 22. Not for all students. Wherever the student ID is, wherever student ID is 1, only for that particular student, change the age. This is the command for that. Now we have updated it. Now we'll try to verify whether the record has been updated or not. Okay. Now I'm selecting this. Now see, his age has been updated to 22. It is not the numerical information. I can also change the character type of data also. Okay. Now I would like to update the name of the person. Say that his name is Harish Kumar, but we have written Harish. Okay. Now how to update this one? Same. Okay. Update students, set name as Harish Kumar. Not for all. If you don't specify, no, all the names will be updated. That's why whenever you are updating the data, we should give the where class with the condition where the student ID equals to 3. For this particular student, change his name. Okay. Now we have updated it. Now I would like to run this at this level. Okay. I'm just selecting it. I'm running this particular code. See, now the name has been changed. It's all right. For suppose say that this particular student or else Varun, okay, dropped out of the college. Now we want to delete his record. Okay. How to delete the record from this one? Okay. The syntax for this one is delete from, what is the table name? Students. Delete from students, not all students. If I simply execute this code, it will delete all the records. But we want to delete only student with the ID number 4. Okay. Delete from students where student ID equals to 4. Okay, this is the code that we will write. First we will delete the record and then we will verify. Okay. The statement has been executed successfully. Now we'll run this particular code. See, there is no record with the ID number 4. This is how we will perform the basic CRUD operations when it comes to the databases. Okay. Select all these things, control plus forward slash will make this one into a comment. Okay. We have created a database and later we are just verifying is there any table initially. So this particular line of code is for the giving reference to particular database. Whatever is the database name that I write after this particular keyword use, that database will be used for that. Okay. Now I'm creating a particular table with the 3 columns. I'm verifying the data is there or not. Initially there was no data. Later I have started inserting the records using insert into statement. If you observe the syntax, insert into the particular table name. I am specifying the column names within the parenthesis. Later I am giving the values. Again, within the parenthesis, values corresponding to each column I am writing here. The first is the student ID, second is the name, third value is the age. Again, I am verifying like this. I have inserted 5 records. In this line of code, you can observe that I am inserting more than one record at a time. If I want to insert 10 records, I don't need to write insert into statement 10 times. I can just write these values into a tuple. Okay. So this is called a tuple. Next, there is a facility that I can update a numerical information. I can update a character type of data, means the names, city information like that. Okay. I can also delete a particular record from the table using delete from the particular table name. This is how. At the end, if I am not using this particular table, right, in the database itself I can drop. Okay, you can just verify this. Okay, I'm just dropping this particular database. Database has been successfully dropped. Now I would like to select the data from students. See, no database selected, it is showcasing because the database it has been gone because of this particular statement. I have dropped the database itself. When I drop the database, the content inside the database also will be dropped. Okay, this is how the basic operations like creation, reading the data, or else simply we can say select the data, updating the data, delete operations on the table or else database objects work. Okay, yeah, that's about it. Thank you.